Hello, hello, and welcome to this week's episode of the Confidently You podcast. My name's Helen. I'm your host, and I am excited to have you here. How are you? How's life? How's things going? So, if you're listening to this when I record it, it is currently February. It's still winter. We cannot let it dampen our spirits. But how are you feeling? I want to know how you're doing. How are you getting on? I am doing well, if you wanted to know. I'm doing good. I had a great start to the year. My intentions are going strong. And I just set small intentions. So those of you who don't know, I don't set resolutions, I set intentions. And my focus this year was less time on social media, scrolling on negative news. There's so much negativity in this world. And I think it's really important to be across everything. But I realised, I read something the other day that with my self-diagnosed ADHD that everyone tells me I have, apparently if you've got ADHD, you feel emotions stronger, like you feel things stronger. I don't know whether it's an ADHD thing or just a personality trait or something everyone has. But I know my partner doesn't have this. I don't know a lot of people, but I do get really frustrated with the way the world and injustice and a lot of the injustice going on. And I remember before Christmas, I was feeling really strong about it. And I'll say to my partner about stuff, I'm not going to go into politics here, girls. I'm not going to do it. But I was feeling this really strong emotion, like it's not right. And actually there is something I will tell you all about because I feel really strongly about this and it might help you all. But I am so against the podcast Diary of a CEO. I'm so against it. That man, misinformation, just everything he does, I just cannot stand it. Misogyny. If you're a fan, just think about this. But it's one thing I feel really, really, really strongly about anyway. So my lovely partner, Martin, we were all sharing ideas and he'd written something on the board and I said, oh, what's that? And he said, oh, it's Times to listen to. He went, you won't like it though. It's a podcast. And I was like, don't you dare be listening to that Stephen Bartlett. You're buying into the system. And I got really, really frustrated and annoyed about it. And it was a Tony Robbins episode and I love Tony Robbins and Tony Robbins does some fantastic things and for entrepreneurs and mindset and helps people. And I'd listened to a podcast with Tony Robbins and I've actually done one of his free courses before, but I just can't give a platform to Stephen Bartlett really infuriates me. But I got so irate about it. Well, irate's the wrong word, but I was like, you need to stop listening to it. Then after I'd reflected and went, actually, it's Martin's life. He does what he wants. I can't tell him what to do. So yeah, I'm just like, get these really strong thoughts and feelings. Anyway, where was I going with that? What I was going to say was, it's really important for me to stay off social media because when you see everything that's going on in the world, all the injustice, wherever it is, you know what's going on. I don't need to tell you about it. I feel it. I take it personally. I take it with me. I carry it with me. So just turning that off, having a bit of time off that has really helped me. So I've got an app that I use. It's called Focus with a Q and you just block all your apps. And what I've found as well, I'm just doing it now actually, because I hadn't done it even though I'm not on social media, but I just like to block it. But what I found is over time, I'm less inclined to just pick up my phone and go on social media because it's that blockers, even if the block's not on, I'm less inclined to just sit and scroll. I have worked out my habits as well, though. It's when I'm tired, I will be like, oh, I want some scrolling time, but just come off. Makes a big difference. It's had a big impact, a positive impact on my life. I don't need it as much. I'm currently on my 5th book of the year as well, 5th fiction book. And my other intention was to start swimming, which I've been doing a couple of times a week. And that is what I'm not doing it to become an Olympic swimmer, girls. I'm not that good. I only taught myself to swim with my head under in lockdown. But I've got stronger and I enjoy it. And it's not about speed. I'm not trying to do it fast. It's about active recovery for me so that the days I'm not running necessarily or doing a high intensity workout or a gym workout, like today, I'm running in gym today, or I'd go and do the Stairmaster to help me with my running on different days. But those days that I'm not doing that, instead of doing nothing or just doing a bit of stretching at home where I could end up feeling a bit more sore, a bit more tired, and I end up filling the time working. Yep. Any free time I've got, I will work. That's what I'll do. That's scrolling on social media. It's working half the time. It's looking at other fitness accounts, getting inspiration for posts and things. So instead of doing that, I just go for a swim. And it's had a very positive impact on me. Yesterday, I really couldn't be bothered to go, and I spent all morning contemplating cancelling the booking because you have to book it. And my finger hovered over that cancel all morning on Monday morning. And then I was like, because I was really tired I did a half marathon, just over half marathon, actually, a mile more, 40 miles on Sunday. And I'm feeling a bit tired. And sometimes I am feeling a bit tired, even though, my habits are good, I sleep well and things. And it just catches up with you sometimes, different times of the month as well. But I didn't. I went and I did 20 minutes. I just did 20 minutes and I felt so much better after. So that can be your inspiration to maybe get rid of something in your life that's having a negative impact on you. That doesn't have to be social media. It could be a friend. Friend, we use inverted commas for that. Friend. Someone that's draining your life. I once helped one of my clients, my friend's client friend, do that. Set boundaries with a relationship that wasn't working for her. Because if someone's draining your energy, girls, you don't need to have them in your life. Anyway, and so you get rid of something negative and add something positive. So that's your little challenge for this week. Anyway, speaking of this week, let's me stop rabbiting on about my life and everything, and let's get on to this week's topic, which is how to drop a dress size without dieting or burning yourself out. This is a hot topic, girls, and this is something I help all my clients with. This is what all my social media is about. This is what my new program's going to be about, the Glow Up, coming soon. So I'll be talking more about that the next couple of weeks. Keep your eyes and ears peeled on my email list and my social media for more information for that. Really excited for the Glow Up. I'll put some information in the show notes as well. But the main thing with this is, so a lot of you come to me for fat loss. You want to drop a dress size. Now, I don't talk about weight when you sign up with me. If you work with me, if you've ever worked with me, you don't have to weigh yourself. It's this magical, mystical thing that everyone thinks, how, why, what? I don't have to weigh myself, but aren't you a fat loss coach? Yes, I'm not a weight loss coach. I'm a fat loss coach. But then what a lot of people do is they'll end up going on a diet. However you get there on that diet, and it's a strict diet where you completely change the way you eat. And then you start doing, I spoke to a lovely lady this morning and she said she was going on an 800 calorie a day diet. Please don't do this, by the way. 10,000 steps a day, swimming twice a day, sorry. And it's all or nothing, right? You're going from all to nothing. This is a lot of what we've learned. We've learned in the 90s, Weight Watchers, Slimming World. Now there's all the Manjaro crew and everything coming out. And it's like this massive, like, skinny talks back, skinny. I don't like, yuck, ick. No, we're not about that. Anyone listening to this, we're not about being skinny. You might think, oh, but I'll be happy if I'm skinny. No. We want to be healthy. We want to feel better on our own skin. We're allowed to lose fat as well, because that, losing body fat for a lot of you will equate to being healthier, feeling better in your own skin. But we're not striving to be the smallest we can be and skinny and restriction, and absolutely not. If you're listening to this and you're like, oh, but I want to be really skinny and restrict myself, then you're in the wrong place. I teach people how to be healthy and feel the best they can possibly feel, and everything I do, the Glow Up, Confidently You, everything I do is based and centered around that. So why does weight loss feel so exhausting for busy women? So most of the time, the problem is not what you're doing, it's how you're doing it. So it's these extremes again. And when you're already busy with life and you've got, most of you listen to this, I bet you've got high achieving career, you're doing well in your job, you've probably got dependents on you, family, children, dog, partner, all of the above. And you've probably got a social life, friends, family. A lot of you now, speaking to a lot of my clients who are in the 40s, 50s, got aging parents that they have to look after. Your life is busy, stretched thin, and you give everything to everyone. Okay, where do you fit in time for you there? So when it comes to I want to lose weight, I don't like the way I feel, I'm really fed up with this, and that's exhausting too. That mental battle that you're going through, that constant exhaustion of wanting. Why am I not good at this? Why can't I've seen Sharon down the road did it. She's lost 14 stone in a day on Manjaro. If you get that joke, then you're my person. You probably, and you're pushing. Why can't I do it? I need to just need to try harder. Just need to do more. Just need to get up earlier. Just need to eat less. Just need to move more. Stop it. You're burning yourself out. That is road to burnout. And you can do it for a week and then you give up because it's impossible. Because it gets to Friday, you're absolutely exhausted, you've had enough, and someone goes, "Do you want a glass of wine?" And you go, "Yeah." And you have the bottle, and then you have a takeaway, and then you start again on Monday. So the problem is sometimes we're a victim of our previous success. So all we look at is, well, I could do it in my 20s. I could skip a meal in my 20s and I lost all weight, or I could, just go on a juice diet for a couple of weeks and I lost the weight. But we're not who we used to be, and our lives are different. And you're trying to diet for who you used to be, this restrictive diet, which doesn't last anyway. No matter who does that, when you're on a restrictive diet, you'll lose the body fat and you'll put it all back on. 9 times out of 10. It's very rare. And imagine then living for the rest of your life just eating that restrictive diet. It'd be really boring. But as we get older, life happens. We probably become a bit more sedentary as well. You're a bit more tired. I'm a bit more tired. I'm 38 now and I'm not even old, but it does start creeping up on you. You've not got as much spring in your step as you did in your early 20s. So what you are used to and what you know works and what's worked in the past is restriction, right? But what you actually need is structure. And they're not the same thing. Restriction is less food, more movement, just cutting things out of your life. Structure is looking at your life, looking at your week and thinking, what can I do with my food here? Planning things out. Being proactive, not reactive. And the biggest change I help the women I work with is that they don't need to overhaul their life on day one. Literally, I was speaking to a lady this morning and I said, the problem is you're trying to go from the bottom of the mountain to the top of the mountain. So if you're not watching now, I'm doing hand gestures, obviously. So you're going from you're starting at the bottom of the mountain and your goal is to get to the top of the mountain, but you're trying to do it in one step. That's impossible. It's impossible. You can't do it. What I teach people to do is little steps. A little bit, change a little bit. Oh, that's worked. Change a little bit more, change a little bit more, change a little bit more. Stay there for a bit, change a little bit. Step by step, you will get to the top of the mountain. It's a process and it takes time. Instant gratification is a big thing as well. We want it overnight. You've got a holiday in 2 weeks. You want to lose fat for then. You need to be thinking about your holiday next year, not this year. And as long as you start working towards your goals and start seeing progress, you'll stay motivated. So this is my biggest one. The scale is lying to you. The scale is a liar. Liar, liar, pants on fire. I bloody hate the scales. Do you know why I hate the scales so much? And hate is a strong word. But so many women have such a negative relationship with the scales. So you'll get up in the morning, you'll get in the scales and it'll say a number. What's that number even mean? Does that mean you're a good person? No. Does that mean you're good at your job? No. Does that mean you are nice to people in the street? No. But you get on that scale and it says a number and you'll decide, oh, that means I'm going to have a good day. Or, oh, that means I'm going to have a bad day. That scale dictates your mood for most women. It gets worse when people start going on multiple times a day. Oh, well, why has it not got down? I'm trying my best. I've been eating salad for 2 days. Why am I not seeing results? It's too short a time, number one, usually. And number two, the scale is not an accurate representation of fat loss. I will repeat that. The scales are not an accurate representation for fat loss. The scales will tell you how much you weigh. Your weight is your gravitational pull towards the earth, right? Your weight encompasses fat, bone, muscle, water, the food you've eaten the day before, hormones, fluctuation and inflammation, so many more things than fat. They are not an accurate representation. And one of my first jobs when someone works with me is helping people understand that, not telling them because I help, I educate, but also teaching other methods to measure success. This is why I do measurements in centimeters. This is why I do dress size instead of weight. Start measuring yourself in centimeters once a week because you don't get results overnight. Waist, hip, bust. Waist, hip, bust. I missed one. Belly button. Minimum. I sometimes do bicep and thighs as well. Centimeters, not inches. Once a week. Same time on the morning on a Sunday. Perfect. This will give you a more accurate representation. If your centimeters are off down, you are losing body fat. Okay? That is it. It's that simple. I don't care what the scales say. Honestly, if I stepped on a pair of scales, I wouldn't even know what it meant. Doesn't mean anything to me. Not all. It's changing your mindset. I also recommend using other measures of success. How have you slept? How's your energy? How's your mood? How's your stress? More important things, having fitness goals. How are you feeling? Can you walk upstairs and not be out of breath? Can you, are you going on daily dog walks? Can you run for a bus? I'm not asking you to run a marathon, but can you do certain things? If you're going to the gym or lifting weights at home, are you getting stronger? Are you getting fitter? Things that will give you signs of success that step you away from that negative relationship with the skills. So if you do another thing this week, I've told you one thing to do already, this is your second bit of homework, it's to start adding, don't take away. If you need those skills, you can't just go cold turkey overnight. You can't go from weighing yourself every day, every minute of every day to not doing it. But what I want you to do is start adding other things in as well. And if you do need to weigh yourself, you either weigh yourself every day at the same time every day. So when you wake up naked as the day you were born, after you've been to the toilet ideally, and you take a weekly average, because that's more realistic. Or once a week and you take a weekly average and you don't let it affect your day, or you just stop doing it. Just stop doing it, girls. Doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything at all. So when it comes to dropping a dress size as well, what I encourage every woman to do is to resistance train. Now, if you come to me, a lot of you come to me and go, I want to lose fat and I want to look toned. Well, you say, I want to lose weight. Then I say, you want to lose fat and you want to gain muscle. So you don't want to lose weight and look toned because you want to lose fat and gain muscle. They're the same things. Two sides of the same coin, just said in a different way. And to gain muscle, to look toned, you need to build muscle mass. Now, I'm not saying you're going to become the next strong man, strong woman, be absolutely hench, but some toning, you do need muscle. And to build muscle, you need to do some sort of resistance training. Now, this doesn't mean you have to go into the gym and start squatting 100 kilograms. If you've never done anything before, if you've never done any resistance training, you're in a perfect position to start. Start with some body weight exercises, squats, presses, shoulder taps, planks, different things. They may be really hard to start with, so you can do things on your knees. Start with some resistance training. If you need help with this, I do have free training programs, so feel free to message me. Just like Helen can have a free training program to start you out. But in order to look toned, you need muscle. Now, this is where some important information comes in. You also need to eat enough protein to grow that muscle. Because when you start resistance training, your muscle fibers that are like tiny hairs, can't do the example because my hair's like slicked back, but your muscle is made up of tiny little hairs. And as you resistance train, you start breaking down those little hairs. And when you eat protein, it rebuilds the hairs, the muscle fibers around, and that's when the muscle grows. But it's not just about looking good, girls. We want to be fit for life. We want to fit as we age. And if you don't, I'll say the opposite. So if you don't have muscle, your bones will be more fragile. You will be more susceptible to breaks. And, as we age, slips, trips, falls, you break something, you're in hospital, you're in a care home. That's it. You're done. If you have muscle, your bones are stronger. And you'll feel stronger as well. You'll be able to set up imagine honestly, I'm only 38, but I'm training for my old lady body. I'm not going to be one of those people in the care home that are just can't get up out of the chair. I'm going to be doing cartwheels across it. I do apologise if you live with me because I'll be really annoying. I'm like, woohoo, let's go. I want to be fit for the rest of my life as much as possible. And that starts now. That starts today. So you do it because you want to look a certain way, but I'm doing it because I want to feel strong. I want to be capable, and I want to do things that I, want to do, like going out for hikes on a weekend and just going and living my life and enjoying things. But I want to be able to do that for the rest of my life. So what does dropping a dress size with ease actually mean? So what I mean by this isn't, it's not tough. It's not striving. It's not restrictive. It's not low calorie. It's not pushing yourself to this extreme. With ease means that you're making small changes to your day. Yes, you'll have to be in a calorie deficit, but making sure that you are feeding yourself, fueling yourself adequately with adequate nutrition, that make sure you have enough energy so that when you start losing body fat, you don't feel rubbish as well. So you're able to maintain it. So that's why it's with ease, because I make it sound really simple. But once you have this structure in your life and stop striving for pushing yourself really hard and over the edge, but start treating yourself like an adult. eat like an adult is one of my favourite sayings at the minute, and I'm saying it with my clients. I'm like, are you eating like an adult? Are you eating your fruit and vegetables, your protein, your, starchy carbs that are going to fuel you up, oats for breakfast, yogurt with breakfast, high protein with berries, nuts, seeds, different things that are going to, you know what's good for you. It's very rare that I get a lady that comes to me that doesn't know how to eat or what to eat. You know what you should be eating, but are you doing it? Are you eating like an adult? And then it's my job usually to help structure that and suggest different things that are going to help fuel you. But a lot of you get up in the morning and you're just riding on coffee and hope or a pastry or, just running around like a mad woman full of anxiety. And then it's getting to evening, you've not even eaten, and then you overeat because you're starving, and then you start again the next day. More structure, taking time at the start of the week. We do it on a Thursday, but a lot of people do it on a Sunday where you plan out your meals for the week. Literally takes 10 minutes. I haven't got time to do that. Yes, you have. Yes, you have, because it'll give you so much more time during the week. I help everyone with nutrition. I also work with calories. Calories is information. It's not rigid. I don't do macros. People are like, what's your macros? Or I'm eating too much fat or too much carbs. They'll sort themselves out. Calories are king. Number one, calories. You need to be in a deficit. So what a deficit is your body will burn a certain amount of energy every day. Say it's 2,000 calories. So you're burning 2,000 calories every day. There's a way of working this out. You can message me again on this. I can put a calculator actually in the show notes. You can go on a TDEE calculator. You can put in your activity level. Be honest. Don't be like, yeah, I'm really active when you're not. And you know you're not. You know you're not. And then it'll give you a deficit based on, and don't put how active you want to be, because that's sometimes what people do. They're like, oh yeah, I'm active, but that's only when you're having a good week. Put what you normally are. So say you burn 2,000 calories a day. You want to work out. People think it's 500 calorie a day deficit. Absolutely not. You will be starving and you won't be able to stick to it. 300 calories a day is more than enough. If you stick to that consistently for a few months, you'll have easily dropped a dress size. But the problem is you go in and go, oh yeah, I can do 500 calorie a day deficit. And it gets to the weekend and you're absolutely ravenous. So you do 1,500 calories Monday to Thursday, and then Friday it's 6,000 calories, 7,000 calories, 8,000 calories. And you're putting weight back on. Fat, not weight. So make it reasonable, make it achievable. As long as you're in a deficit, you'll be losing body fat. It doesn't matter how long it takes you to get there. Stop rushing it. Stop rushing everything. You need to make these changes for life so you can stick to them. Protein is a non-negotiable because it fills you up and makes you full. Like I said before, no macros, no perfection, no obsession. Okay? If you have a day where you go a few hundred calories over, it's fine. Move on the next day. Can you reduce them a bit the next day? We don't need this perfectionism mindset because that's not got you to where you want to be. You need to start considering how to fuel yourself properly. I talked before about eating like an adult. If you want more energy and you want to stick to it more, you need to eat properly. If you're not eating properly, you're not going to have the energy to want to eat properly. It's a circle and you need to be consistent with it. Yes, you're in a deficit, so you are burning more energy than you are putting in, but it's about your food choices as well. High volume, nutrient-dense food is going to keep you fueled up for longer. Yes, you want to fit in something that you enjoy, but make sure it's it's not just I have a chocolate bar and crisps every lunch because that's what you do. No, get rid of that. Start eating like an adult. Then once a week, on a weekend, if you want a sticky toffee pudding, go for it and fully enjoy it. It's the all or nothing trap that keeps you stuck. It's this dieting and then restriction. It's on and off. And this is what I help a lot of people with. And it's what we've learned, but we need to learn that all or nothing doesn't work. If it's not worked in the past, it's not going to work again. It's not you that's the problem. It's the method you're using. So this is why I help people do better each day. So every single day, I'll just help you be better. So you'll have a really good day. What can we do differently the next day? If that's great that day, fine. If you had a rubbish day, what can we do better next day? And we're thinking about each day as it comes, just trying to your best to try your best each day, but not perfectionism. It's just like, what can I do today? What didn't go well yesterday? It's evaluating your days and taking away that, oh, I'm rubbish, that self-deprecation, and actually looking at it and being like, well, actually, this went really well, but then I missed lunch because I had a meeting, which made me really hungry, and then I ended up ordering a takeaway at night. So what's the problem there? It's not the takeaway at night that's the problem. It's the missed lunch. You need to start be more investigative. Is that a word? Of your actual habits and what they look like. It's about being consistent. I'd rather you do 5,000 steps a day, right? Than one day 10,000 and the other day's 1,000. Now, yes, I do weekly averages, and that works best for most people. And I understand different work patterns and that, but I'd rather you not be like perfect. Have this one day a week where you eat salad and protein and you do 10,000 steps and then you go to the gym, and the next day you're absolutely worn out, knackered, and you end up overeating. It's not getting you anywhere. It's about consistency over time and building consistent habits. So signs you're doing it right is you'll have sustainable energy, your mood will be better, and yes, you can lose fat loss fast, and this is dependent, but usually when you're making it sustainable, it is slower. It's not these big, massive chunks of fat loss week on week. It is slow and steady, but remember, you're building habits. We need to stop striving for this. And it is a lot of comparison, and especially with social media. Now, if you didn't have it, if you had no one to compare to, and every week you saw that you were making progress, you'd think you were doing really well, and you are doing really well. But it's when we start comparing ourselves to others and other people's journey, it should feel a bit boring. And this is one thing it takes a while for people to understand. It's a bit monotonous. I eat the same thing, breakfast, lunch most days, evening meals, similar every week. I have a similar routine. I get up at the same time every day, go for my morning walk. I have a similar routine with my walks, runs, gym. Like, I do similar things, swimming. I do similar things on similar days because that's my pattern, what fits in my life. What I do allow myself, though, is on a weekend, a bit more flexibility, and this will probably sound mad to some of you, but like, I'll go and enjoy a different run route. I'll go do a different trail run or something because I have more time. I'll also usually spend more time in a weekend because that works for me, cooking more adventurous meals. Like the other night I did chicken nuggets, chips and beans, but it was homemade chips, homemade chicken nuggets. So good, with cornflakes and paprika and garlic, and homemade beans. So it wasn't even a high calorie meal, but it was more effort and it felt like a treat, even though it really wasn't. So you don't need another diet, you just need more structure and alignment. This is literally all I've talked about, and this is what's going to make the biggest difference for you. So set a sustainable calorie deficit that you can stick to. Start planning your week, weighing yourself, start adding measurements in, celebrating progress, take each day at a time, and stop thinking in extremes, because extremes don't work. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Felt like a bit of a rant, but I get really passionate about this topic because this is what I help people with. I'll be putting in the show notes more details about the glow up, which is coming in a couple of weeks, and everything that I've talked about today. But if you take one thing away from today, it is to start looking after yourself and being kinder to yourself. And you can make progress. Everyone can. There's signs everywhere. There's clues everywhere. Look at people that have done it. Not comparison, but start looking at people and going, well, if they can do it, why can't I? People that have a similar lifestyle to you that have had success. Success leaves clues. And believe in yourself. Message me if you need anything. I'm always here. And I look forward to speaking to you all next week. Goodbye.